More combat mission Black Sea is the thing I say when I start these videos because I can't really think of anything else to say, and I feel the constant unstoppable urge to be talking for the entirety of the 1 minute of play at the start of these videos. Oh hey, you know what's worse than one T90 covering this exit? It's two T90s covering this exit, and they both come out to play. These guys take something that's explosive to and or near the face. Fighting continues in here. I haven't zoomed in on it yet. That's something, I think that's an ATGM. Whee. Things explode near that ATGM team. Stuff happens. Helicopter noises? I called in both helicopters again. So they're doing things. You get spots on infantry and shit down here. Go zoom in on that. Oh, somebody shot this guy. Oh no. Convoy continues to move. Let me see if that one got immobilized. 2 seconds left in the turn. 1 second. Okay, let's go zoom in on things. So, despite inputting like 500 goddamn waypoints, i.e. I click every single nook of the road, like here. Every single time I do it so they stay on the road. Somehow pathing got fucked up back here, and one of these trucks got bogged. Wasn't this one? I think it was this one or this one. Got bogged because it went off the road. So that was worrying, but evidently they're back on track. So the trucks are continuing up. This one I stopped completely for a turn because it also got off the road, and like if they go off the road for 2 seconds they bog. So I promise you I am trying real hard with these trucks to keep them on track, but sometimes it's like herding cats with this AI. So this one should be back on. The trucks are fairly spread out now, so there's little danger of them going weird and wacky places. And generally, this thing's stuck. You've collected everything that has been stuck here in the past, and it's moving up nicely. So that's a thing I shouldn't have to talk about for the rest of the video. Okay, I might do it again at the left-hand side of the map. Immediately when the turn starts, your scout team here spots 2 tanks. So that's fun. Turns out there's 2 looking down this way. I knew that the whole time, but you didn't. Haha. These guys seem 2 tanks. I appreciate one of them just swore on Ukrainian, probably, that's what I do. 2 tanks come up, let's just skip ahead. Contacts, APCs down here. Lose sight of this one. Something shoots these guys. Oh! I know what! Oh, this is classic. This is from all the combat mission games. This one was turned out. Yeah, this T90 is turned out. So they shoot at it, he immediately goes back into cover, and uh-oh, they saw you when you shot at them. So, man. Yeah, I'm surprised this guy survived. He's actually closer to the crater. But yeah, it turned out tanks are great bait for infantry to reveal themselves. So this scout team's probably fucked because of that little glitch in the system. Oh, and obviously also there's so this team here, this ATGM team, they fired in the last turn at the tank down there that's now covered in smoke. They take a casualty this turn. Zoom forward. Yeah. So something explodes here that they don't see, and it does a light wound to this guy, the guy actually on the ATGM. And then they get a contact down here. Somebody's paying attention this time. These guys all see it. Yeah, so there's an ATGM in the air here. It's also going towards your position, and I think you get a spot down here. So that ATGM goes off, and it doesn't do any further damage, but it does pin these guys. And this very solid contact down here. Oh, they shot a third one. Okay. So, yeah, there's an ATGM team here who's trying to play Syria with you guys. He's making a sweet jihad video. That's probably not okay to say. But he shoots ATGMs at your ATGM team. Not sure on the infantry killing abilities of these ATGM warheads. There's a lot of explosives in them. Evidently you got a wound, but they're aiming not precisely where this team is. So they're making a lot of holes in the ground. So down in Clusterfuck Forest, a couple things happen. These BTRs, the platoon commander Ross ordered them to continue previous. DT Kozel ordered them to reverse. I ended up going with reverse because mostly just makes more sense, because I'm pretty sure that literally the only reason these guys aren't getting shot at right now is because Like, you can see this gun is depressed all the way, but it can't shoot these guys because they're just out of range. So they have orders just to reverse to the tree line. And that goes on for this turn. They reverse. This guy tries his luck throwing a grenade at this, but it kind of works. I mean, they're very thinly armored. The wheels are very rough. This thing's going to get immobilized soon. But he shoots one guy, and it looks like the reason they aren't dead yet, if you can hear me over the gunfire, is because RPG Man is dead. So they don't actually have an RPG with which to kill this. I don't remember how the RPG died, but it is dead. So both these get out and cause at least one casualty here. Very solid tank contact here, by the way. This is fun. Solid tank contact here. You have a tank sitting right here. Very fun times in this general area. Grenade launcher teams are doing okay, and this tank arrives from the other direction. So in the other part of Clusterbug Forest, you continue getting shot at by BTRs a lot. Artillery continues to fall. These squads remain mostly intact for the whole turn. They start with no casualties. You see lots of Russians, you shoot at them, especially down here. But these guys are getting super pained. Like, they're getting shot at in a lot of places. They get casualties. You see some Russians. They're pretty much surrounded here. There's like a little pocket of Russians closing in on them. And just gonna speed up a little bit in the interest of time. Basically, they break. They have +2 morale modifiers. I think that's a universal Ukrainian thing. Actually, did I put that? Let me see. Yeah, all the Ukrainians have +2 motivation because they're defending their homeland, I think. I put that in the scenario editor. So Ukrainians are less likely to break, but these guys are running away anyways because they're getting totally fucked up by the Russians here. So you got this one squad who's totally pinned, this other squad that's pinned, and they're falling back of their own accord. They're not waiting for you to tell them to. So it's the orders phase of the second American turn, and I'm just now noticing that your drone actually got a solid spot on something. You see this tank here, and I was wondering who the hell could see it. And it turns out that it's this guy. This guy is the guy operating the drone. So, yeah, you see a tank that's moving down towards this giant line of BTRs and other transports. So that's a fun thing. I definitely didn't mention it in the last minute. So while I'm on the orders phase for Blue 4 again, just to reiterate, yeah, helicopters here. This turns out good news. Both these tanks and all these BTRs are smack dab in the middle of where the Apache's getting called in. So in 2 minutes, the Apache that still has 4 Hellfires left is coming in here. And I believe the other one that's just down the rockets and guns is coming in over here like 10 minutes after that. Yeah, this one's coming in 5 minutes. It's in the white phase, so it's not on map. And the other one is in the 2-minute preparing phase, and I think that's why you're hearing helicopter noises. So we could potentially see it, well, not this turn, but we're going to see it in the next video probably. Also, on that note, all your fire missions have completely concluded. So there's no more artillery getting fired at all on the map. Your units, looks like the battery of mortars you used is down to like 10 shots each. That's these guys down here. Their trucks still have some ammo, I think. Don't they? Doesn't look like they have ammo. Oh wait, it's in this tab. Yeah, so these trucks have like 30 more rounds of HE ammo each, but that would probably require like moving the trucks next to these teams because there's no other easy way to get ammo from the trucks to the teams. So they have like 10 rounds of HE each. These guys, the next on the tab, they still have their like starting 30 rounds of ammo, if you want to call more fire missions, as well as the American mortars, which are that fucking insane 1-minute call-in, using fire support teams and drones. 1-minute call-in, and they still have tons of HE ammo. More combat mission Black Sea on the NATO side for this team. Do you see some flashing icons under the mountain of merging unit icons down here? The last mortars that were already in the air fall, even though the units are done firing. So the last few rounds fall. These guys get deleted. The scout team dies completely. Big surprise. They had like 3 tanks looking at them. And by that I mean 2. I don't actually leak intel in these videos. Yeah, you have a solid spot on that tank up there. Lots of units mushing together in this general area. This ATGM team down here actually gets set up. They deploy, pretty quick deploy time. And they shoot something, but it's not what you want it to shoot. They shoot at a BTR. instead of the T-90s staring them in the face, which is almost definitely making them visible to everybody in this whole area. So there it goes. You lose a BRDM up here, you shoot a BTR down here, and that's the end of the minute. So down on this side of the map, stuff happens. The scout team dies at some point. Yeah, at that point, and you lose most of your spotting. So these guys, I spent a while setting up somewhere they have line of sight on places. So you can see from down here, tree trunks on, they have a pretty good view of where these tanks are, but mostly they just see that BTR. So they get set up, they get their little sax horns set up, and they take the shot, and they kill the fuck out of this thing. So that's dead as hell. But unfortunately there's 2 tanks and a bunch of BTRs here that will now probably see that team, which is bad for them. So over here, more things happen when I unpause the video especially. Some BRDMs got ordered up here last turn, I believe. I take some casualties up here. So the BRDMs finished their orders to charge into this forest. Good spot on that tank sitting in that field thanks to the UAV, so you know where it is. So there's a solid tank contact here and an actual tank here. Lots of shooting up here. It's pretty quiet, like on your secondary line here, you have a decent base of fire around here. All the Russians seem to be around here still. Aside from these guys who almost ran over. So the turn goes on. It's still taking a few sporadic casualties up here. Looks like the Russians waste an RPG or 2 at this BRDM. Can't see shit. It's just happily going on its merry way. I think it's even on orders. So it sits here, and it takes an RPG from where you were getting shot at earlier, and it only has 1 guy in it, I think, and it's dead. In the other part of the forest, I stop your guys and face them back towards the enemy. Still lots of getting shot at, though. Look at all these very solid Russian contacts. Cycle trees. Through the remainder of this term, shooting continues, taking casualties here. The stragglers are generally getting cut up pretty bad because they're getting caught out alone. And that's about it. This squad even comes out of suppression, so that's fun. So yeah, that's the situation in and around here. Along this road, things continue to be busy. I've put probably well over 1,000 clicks on these little zigzags at this point through all the units. You got the good BTRs, the ones with cannons on them going down here. You've got stuff going along the road, which has picked up other things, including the convoy, which is now, it's getting there. I put them on fast orders, so when they are moving, they're moving pretty well. All the trucks are moving at this point. This little fucker is just going to stay behind because he always gets ahead of the trucks and always like drives them off the road. So I'm just not going to move them until these guys are like way up. Your American reinforcements are moving along nicely. This Abrams is getting way ahead because it has killer, sick, nasty off-road capabilities. And all the Bradleys are following behind, and they're doing okay so far. So these guys are all well on their way. They're not getting fucked up on any trees or anything dumb. So reinforcements coming soon. Trucks getting away. They're like, what, a third of the way across the map? It's kind of hard to tell. It's a big map. But the trucks are getting along. And this is the state of the map. So the Merry Marauder wanted an actual close zoom of where units are and what they're doing, so I will do that. So obviously this ATGM team right here, look at that cloud of dust. I wonder if anybody's going to notice that cloud of dust while he reloads the next rocket. That would be too bad. These guys are here. I tried to space them out a bit. A single HE explosion here probably won't kill this team outright, but it has the potential to for sure with the shrapnel. So these guys are also in danger. I'm sorry, I put them a little close together, probably too close. But I think you do have a spare MG team around here somewhere. Maybe not. So that guy's in danger. So most of the Merry Marauder's actual stuff is around here. So this is the non-scout team's part of the first squad. So the scout team died over here. The rest of the first squad's here. Second and third squads are up here. So third squad is here. This is the body of third squad. This is the body of second squad. They're kind of looking down here. I don't know where specifically to place these guys, so I kind of put them overlooking that area. This is the platoon headquarters, and you have scout teams moving up here who are getting close to where these vehicle contacts are. After that, you have the staging area with a whole bunch of empty BTRs. 2nd Platoon HQ, 4th Platoon, the Weapons Platoon HQ. And this is all 2nd Platoon. So 2nd Platoon is all moving up kind of onto the reverse slope here. I moved this artillery FO team up here. I forgot to actually, I loaded this BTR with an ATGM team, but I didn't actually move it up. So there's definitely spare ATGM teams to move up too. The Great Hunter stuff, he hasn't posted in a while, but it actually did move up. So we have these guys in all these positions. And the Americans holding a big line here. So you pretty much have a solid wall of infantry all across this big forest here. It's kind of, it's really interesting terrain actually if you get down into the actual, like, where you can see kind of the curves of it. As you can see, it's like this big rolling hills and valleys. Where this side is the Russian side and this side is the Allied side. And this field is where vehicles are at. So yeah, so you're definitely all on the reverse slope here for the most part, other than the guys who are actually popping up to shoot. Solid wall of infantry, backed up by 1 tank. And everybody else is just kind of smashing together at very close range in this forest. So hopefully that gives everybody a decent idea of what's going on and where they are. That'll probably do it for this video. And I will see everybody next time. So last minute addition to the NATO video, something I didn't even notice until I went to the fucking Russian turn, is your Abrams bushwhacked some guys. Some Russians poked their heads out of this forest, as some astute observers may have noticed, right at the end of the last turn, and the Abrams killed the fuck out of them. The Abrams just on a rampage here, just shooting every single infantry that dares pop its head out. So that's another couple kills for you guys.